The intro cutscene at the very start of the game will change and update as you unlock more characters. When you first make a new file, there will only be a relatively small amount of characters shown at the very start, posing on the cliff here. But as you unlock more characters, they'll be added to the cutscene and pose along with the ones you have already unlocked. Luigi has a strange glitch that breaks his face a bit. This occurs when you first grab an item, then jump in the air and throw it downwards. When you do this, Luigi's face distorts a bit and looks much different than normal. This is likely because they reused Mario's throwing animation here for Luigi, but forgot to adjust it like they did for most of his other animations. If Kirby gets hit by Meta Knight's Final Smash while he is in his stone form, he will start T-posing while getting hit by the Final Smash. This likely happens because the stone form is not a regular character animation shared amongst the cast, so the Final Smash gets a bit confused on how to place Kirby. Captain Falcon's Final Smash also has a few bugs. It's actually possible for Captain Falcon to die while performing his Final Smash if used on ice while running towards your opponent. The cutscene will glitch out a bit and your opponent will not die while Captain Falcon does die. This is easiest to do on a custom stage but can be done in other areas like the ice transformation on Pokemon Stadium 2 and the summit level. If this is done while playing Giant Mode, the blue Falcon will glitch out and actually get stuck to Falcon as he responds. It will stay like this for the rest of the match, even if you die. Not really sure why this one happens, but it is a fun way to break the game and confuse any unsuspecting opponents. Another glitch involving Captain Falcon's Final Smash allows you to get 2 kills with a single Smash Ball. If you're at the upper blast zone of a stage and hit an opponent with your Final Smash, your opponent will get star KO'd by the initial hit and then also get killed by the Final Smash, causing 2 KOs instead of the usual 1. This glitch makes Captain Falcon the only character without a transformation Final Smash who can get 2 kills on the same opponent with 1 Smash Ball. On Smashville, there is a hidden stage variant that can only be seen if your Wii is set to a very specific time. If you load up Smashville at 8 PM on a Saturday, you can see that KK Slider is now performing at the center of the stage. Fun little Easter egg for any Animal Crossing fans. Kirby's Final Smash has a glitch that can completely trap his opponents until the timer runs out. If Kirby's Final Smash happens as one of the other players grabs an assist trophy in the air, Kirby will suck all the opponents into his pot like normal, but will never actually shoot them out. This keeps them stuck in the pot while Kirby bangs his utensils until the timer runs out. When Olimar uses his Final Smash, he'll fly up to the sky in his rocket ship and the camera will pan up. On the Yoshi's Island stage, this reveals a hidden moon that is not normally visible during regular gameplay. This moon is actually where Yoshi fights Raphael the Raven in the Yoshi's Island game. This one's a pretty hidden Easter egg. Pokemon Trainer's Final Smash involves Squirtle, Charizard, and Ivysaur all working together to unleash a large attack. As the attack is going on, a text box pops up telling you the attack is super effective. This text box is based off the text boxes from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, which was the most recent main series Pokemon game released when Brawl came out. Wario's Final Smash gives him immunity to the blast zones. Because of this, you can fly way up high above the stage and stay alive even after transforming back into regular Wario. It can take a while to fall back down, but you won't actually die at all because you aren't moving upwards towards the blast zone. This does let you do something funny though. If you use Wario's fully charged fart move while off stage like this, Wario will instantly die. On the Pictochat stage, if you're playing with 3 or more players and one player runs out of lives, a jingle from the original Pictochat on the DS will play. This jingle is the same sound that plays when a user leaves the Pictochat lobby. This won't play in a 1v1 match as the game will end right as one person runs out of lives, rather than continuing like in 3 or 4 player matches. It's a bit hard to hear sometimes over the fighting sounds, but it's a nice little Easter egg. If you do a wheelie on Wario's bike while on a moving or sloped platform, some weird stuff can happen. Doing little tiny wheelies as you ride off the platform can cause Wario to get stuck and spin around the platform instead of riding off. Doing this causes him to launch into space at high speeds. This clip from ImKiij shows that by doing this, you can actually kill another player at extremely low percents. This is because the bike's damage and knockback is determined by its speed, and when it's spinning like this, it gets a bit glitched and does more damage than it probably should. Almost every death in Smash Bros. Comes from getting knocked off the stage by an opponent and into the blast zone. While not very common, it is actually possible to die from getting crushed in Brawl. On the pirate ship stage, if you get caught between the rock and the ship at this point in the stage, you will instantly die, even if you're at 0%. In the official Prima Strategy guide for Brawl, there's a section that analyzes the playable characters and gives them all a rating out of 10 for how good they are. Surprisingly, Meta Knight, who's the undisputed best character in the game, somehow only got a 6 out of 10, tying Ganondorf, who is widely considered the worst character in the game, and possibly all of Smash Bros. Another terrible character, Bowser, managed to get a 7 out of 10, and Jigglypuff also somehow got a 7 out of 10, both beating out Meta Knight. I wouldn't take the Prima guide too seriously though, as it's clear it isn't 100% correct in many areas. For example, the first mention of Mario on his page mistakenly calls him Maria. They also state that Marth is the best character in the game, so I don't think they totally knew what they were talking about at the time. On the Pokemon Stadium 2 stage, there's a hidden cat Easter egg. If you wait till the stage transforms to the ice transformation and look into the small hut, you can see a picture of one of the game developer's cats. Many fans have speculated that this is Shigeru Miyamoto's cat, but we don't really know for sure. Onett has a similar Easter egg. It doesn't involve cats, but instead a hidden rice ball. If you use a cheated camera, you can zoom into these roses here and see that there's a rice ball hiding inside the planter. No clue why this is here, but it also appears in the Melee version of the stage, but was removed for Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate. If Kirby uses his down B move on the edges of the Pictochat stage, he'll get stuck there and make a whole lot of noise. If you have another player use a Final Smash, such as Bowser's, and get close to Kirby while this is happening, you can actually rack up an extremely large amount of percent in seconds. This actually works on most steeply sloped surfaces like this, but this is one of the easiest places to set it up. If you place a landmine with Snake's down smash and try to inhale the landmine with King Dedede, the landmine will continuously blow up for as long as you inhale with Dedede or until someone gets hit by the explosion. On the Mario Circuit stage, if a Mario Kart song is selected for the match, it won't actually start playing until the start of match timer is finished, just like how it is in a regular Mario Kart race. If you play a song from any other game, it'll start right away, just like on any other stage. When Snake does his taunt, he hides under a cardboard box before throwing it behind him. It's actually possible for other characters to go up to Snake and pick up the box and throw it. It even does some damage. It can be used to hit things like the Smash Ball. If Kirby dies while having a copy ability from another character, he will no longer be able to close his eyes or blink. This looks particularly strange if you make Kirby sleep with Jigglypuff, as Kirby now sleeps with his eyes open. When Brawl was first released, it actually caused issues for a lot of people's Wiis, enough that Nintendo had to make an official statement on it. The issue was caused by the sheer file size of Brawl. Because of how large it was, Nintendo had to use a double-layered disc for Brawl, which was not the standard for Wii games. Because of this, some Wiis with non-pristine disc drives were unable to play the game despite the disc being brand new. Nintendo thankfully offered a free repair service to help those in need. If you go to the tournament mode or Subspace Emissary and select Zaro Suit Samus, you might notice a little error that made it into the final game. Somehow her name was misspelled as Zaro Suit Samus in both of these menus. This was fixed in the PAL release, but is still in the other versions of the game. Another glitch or oversight featuring the UI involves Samus's red alternate costume. If you load into a match, you'll notice that the portrait for red Samus is for some reason zoomed in more than the other colors. No other character has a change-up like this, just Samus. Like the previous error, this was also fixed in the PAL release. Subspace Emissary automatically balances a whole bunch of things about your character, making them play differently than they do in any other mode in Brawl. All characters jump 2 frames faster, jump 18% higher, and fall 19% faster. This essentially makes every character's vertical platforming better to help you progress through certain areas of the game. All characters can also swim much longer than normal, and moves like Kirby's Inhale or Yoshi's Egg Lay will only deal damage instead of grabbing like they do in other modes. If you are playing on Shadow Moses Island, you can access a hidden Easter egg with Snake. You have to input a Smash taunt, which is a 1-frame taunt input, but if done correctly, a cutscene will start to play showing dialogue between Snake and one of his allies from the Metal Gear Solid games. They will chat about a random opponent from the game, but the conversation will stop if Snake gets KO'd at any point and play some unique dialogue.
He's got a powerful stomach that lets him swallow and digest anything. Snake, what's going on? Snake? Snake!
Let's listen to a few of the more interesting Snake conversations.
Something about that hedgehog rubs me the wrong way.
Oh, you mean Sonic the Hedgehog? But everyone loves Sonic.
Yeah, I know. There's something about him I just don't like.
But why? You must have some kind of reason.
Nope. Just don't like him. Mei Ling, Samus took her clothes off.
That's just her in the Zaro Suit, Snake.
Without that bulky power suit, she's gotten a lot more agile. I bet if I took off all this heavy gear, I could catch her.
Yeah, you wish.
Colonel, it's me. I'm fighting myself.
Snake, what's going on out there? Could it be? Has the Les Enfants Terribles project really come this far?
It's more than that. He's got my moves, my gear. It's like looking in a mirror.
Do you think they collected data on you and created another Snake?
He's got the same build, too. Creepy. This is Snake.
Copy, Snake. This is Slippy.
What? Who is this? What are you? Some kind of frog?
Easy there, buddy. Just thought I'd hop on the wireless and give you a holler. Don't get mad.
Hacked right into my channel, huh?
But I'm not here to mess nothing up. Don't worry.
The 3 characters from the Starfox series have a similar Easter egg you can perform on any of the Starfox stages. By pressing a Smash taunt, you get to hear a conversation between the various Starfox team members. This Easter egg was in Melee, and I did cover it already in my Melee Useless Facts video, so I only play one conversation this time around.
Yeah, look at Falco. He's not letting the skirmish slow him up one bit.
Yes, he's a fighter, all right. Who else would have the guts to open a communication channel during a fist fight?
Just the same, watch yourself, Falco. Don't go get yourself toasted by a stray laser.
Good luck, Falco.
The Spear Pillar stage has a couple of hidden Pokemon secrets. If you pause and zoom in with the camera on the platforms, you can see there is a hieroglyphic drawing of Dialga and Palkia. These are the same images you see in the Celestic Town in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Also, if you look towards the back of the stage, you can see a meteorite next to a tree, which is likely a reference to the Adamant, Lustrous, and Gracious orbs, which are found in the same area in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Despite most of it being hidden, the Mario Circuit stage actually features the entire track modeled out. You can see the full track by using a debug camera to zoom out past the normal camera range. Green Hill Zone is another stage with lots of off-camera geometry. If you zoom the camera out, you can see areas considerably bigger than the actual playable area. There are even details like ring boxes and flowers placed in areas you would never normally see. Another stage with hidden details is the Luigi Mansion stage. If you use the debug camera to go underneath the crib in the nursery, you can see there's a hidden boo underneath it. This is never visible in regular gameplay and was even removed in the Smash Ultimate version of the stage, so it's unclear why they even bothered to add it. In a stamina mode game with 3 or more players, Nana will keep fighting even after the main ice climber is defeated. Normally in regular matches, both will disappear if the main climber dies, but they forgot to add this for stamina mode. It is impossible for her to win the match for the ice climbers, but she can still avenge Popo's death. Prior to Brawl's release, there was a website called the Smash Bros Dojo that was updated regularly and shared details of the game. The creator of Brawl, Masahiro Sakurai, would update the site himself and provided gamers with sneak peeks of the new upcoming game. He ended up posting over 300 blog posts on the site over 11 months, which is kinda crazy considering he was actively working on the game while making these posts. Surprisingly, this site is still up to date and can be accessed by going to this link here. An unfinished assist trophy for Ridley exists within the game's files. It likely was not finished because they decided they would rather have him as a full boss in Subspace Emissary rather than just an assist trophy character. There are a bunch of trophies for the Metal Gear Solid series, and one of them is for Snake's iconic cardboard box. If you look closely at the trophy, you can see Snake's eyes peeking through the little hole in the box, and if you adjust the camera, you can see that there's a fully modeled and textured Snake inside the box. Luigi's Final Smash is one of the weirdest Final Smashes in the game. Luigi does his little dance and affects the way the screen looks, but he also decreases launch resistance by a lot. Because of this, it's actually possible for him to one-hit KO lighter characters by using his down taunt during his Final Smash. Pikachu's Final Smash in Brawl is Volt Tackle. Pikachu will fly around the stage and deal damage to opponents who come in contact with him. Within the Pokemon games themselves, Pikachu is actually unable to learn this move unless he learns it prior to evolving when he is still a Pichu. Because of this, many fans speculate that the Pikachu in Brawl is actually the Pichu character from Melee, who is now evolved since time has passed between the two games. This theory is supported by Pikachu having the same blue goggles that Pichu has in Melee, and Pikachu can now wall jump too, despite not being able to in Melee while Pichu could. Also, Pichu is nowhere to be seen in this game too. Sakurai planned for there to be an armor and weapon decay system in the game. As the battle progressed, your character's armor and weapons would slowly deteriorate until you died and respawned. This would be things like Captain Falcon's visor getting chipped, or Marth having his sword get cracked. This feature was cut due to time constraints, but some of the textures were left within the game's files, which is how we know what they look like. The Bridge of Eldin stage from The Legend of Zelda is one of the buggiest stages in the game. Most of the bugginess is caused by this regenerating bridge here. If you're playing as Jigglypuff and use your Final Smash inside the bridge as it is regenerating, the game will glitch out and Jigglypuff will stay very large even after the Final Smash is done. Jigglypuff's hitboxes adjust to the size, making it very easy to get hit and die. You also are able to roll considerably further, so be careful not to roll off stage on accident. To add to the bugginess, you can use Yoshi's egg lay on this large Jigglypuff and make Puff even bigger, so big that they don't even fit on the camera anymore. A similar glitch can be done with R.O.B in his Final Smash. If you do the exact same thing we just did with Puff, but instead with R.O.B, you'll end up staying in its Final Smash mode for the rest of the game and be immune to getting hit. Falco and Fox can also use their Final Smashes inside this bridge to break the game. If either of these space animals do this, the camera will bug out and zoom in very closely to them and only them, making it very hard for the other players to actually see anything while playing. This goes away if a player dies, but the fiery Smash Ball effect will stay active until the person who used the Final Smash dies. Kirby's Final Smash can be used to duplicate items if you add your own projectiles to the mix. Once Kirby uses his Final Smash and starts sucking in items, you'll want to shoot a bunch of lasers at him with Fox. By continually shooting lasers towards Kirby, you can increase the amount of items in his suit. You normally will duplicate a random item in the suit, but if you only have one item in there, then you'll just get a bunch of copies of that one item. If Marth mashes his down B counter fast enough, he can completely tank the lava on Norfair and not get hit. You have to mash it pretty fast, but if you're quick enough, you can safely stay in the lava while your opponents struggle to avoid it. The Masterpieces option on the menu displays a Nintendo Entertainment System cartridge for the North American and European releases of Brawl. If you were instead on the Japanese version, then the icon will be swapped out for a Famicom cartridge, as that was what was used in Japan. Just like in Melee, Mr. Game & Watch, despite appearing 2D, actually has a fully 3D model that has a flat code applied to it. He is also unique as he is the only character in the game to not have a single texture applied to him. He is simply a solid black color with an outline attached, no textures at all. Game & Watch's up air has a Windbox as part of the attack. As you already know, Brawl's a bit of a broken mess, and this move fully contributes to it as it has some jank. If you use this move on a Waddle Dee while they are stuck along a ceiling, the game won't really know what to do, which can lead to some funny things happening. There are a handful of Mario enemies like Goombas and Koopas added as enemies in the Subspace Emissary, but all other regular enemies you encounter were created specifically for the Subspace Emissary. As a kid, I always just assumed they were from games I hadn't played, but pretty much all the enemies you see are original just for Brawl. There are a bunch of unused files for the Subspace Emissary that hint there would have potentially been many more enemies to fight. Here's a list of all the cut enemies here. Personally, the only ones I've really heard of are Drybones, Buzzy Beetle, and Waddle Dee, but there are a bunch of others listed here too. I honestly think it's a pretty big missed opportunity not adding more random enemies from other games too. The unique Subspace enemies get old after a little while, and it'd be really refreshing to see enemies from other franchises besides Mario. Because of time constraints, there were multiple characters that were cut from the game during development. Mewtwo, Roy, Pichu, and Dr. Mario were all characters in Melee that were cut from Brawl, but there were some non-Melee characters cut too. In the game's files, there are references to Toon Zelda and Toon Sheik, who both did not make the final game. Toon Zelda would have been Zelda from Wind Waker, but Toon Sheik is a character that does not exist at all within the Zelda universe. My guess is they wanted to have Toon Zelda but didn't really know what to do with Sheik, so they just cut both of them. There's also a reference deep in the files to a planned Dixie-Con character, even a Plusle and Minun paired Pokemon duo too. There isn't much within the files for these cut characters, so it's very likely all of them were cut early into development. And that was 50 useless facts for Super Smash Bros Brawl on the Wii. Let me know in the comments what game you'd like to see me cover next, and you might even appear in the next video. I have a whole bunch of similar useless facts videos for games you probably like, so check those out on my channel if you enjoyed this video. Thank you to everyone who clicked the like button. It helps me out a lot and I really appreciate it. Thank you to the channel members and supporters. Without you, I would not be able to stream and create content regularly. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.